check that it's actually happening. I can't see you. I'm just over on Facebook, making sure it's happening. Yes, it's happening. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Conversations with Dionne. Today I have with me Lou. Am I pronouncing your name correctly when I say Harper, or is it Hooper? Hooper. And you're calling in from where exactly?
I'm in from Toronto, Canada.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Yeah. I don't know how much snow you have there. I know that where my brother lives in Winnipeg, he has loads. Yeah, it's like a foot of snow every year.
Oh yeah, at least a foot. I think in our backyard we have about 3 feet right now, but it's raining today, so that should take away a lot of it.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah,
we had 2 weeks of snow in the UK that melted away last week, and it's like our country just went on hold.
Yeah, if you're not used to it, it'll stop you dead.
So I know we don't have much time today, so we're going to be doing a part 1 and a part 2. And the reason we don't have much time today is exactly what we're talking about in reference to our weather, our seasons, and the fact that our country's clocks change, but not all at the same time. So Lou and I have actually done that classic thing of our clocks not being aligned and our software systems not being aligned. And so we've only got 10 minutes today to introduce Lou to you. And she's going to be coming back with a part 2 to specifically dial in about vegan plant-based foods in accordance to menopausal women. But today we're just saying hi and asking Lou, when did her vegan plant-based dietary nutrition lifestyle happen and why?
Yeah, it started, excuse me, it started about almost 8 years ago now. And the reason why I went on a vegan diet is due to health reasons. I walked into my doctor's office one day for my regular checkup, and she was taking my blood pressure and all that kind of stuff. And then she said, I think I'm going to have to raise your cholesterol meds, because I was on high blood pressure and high cholesterol medications, which are both very dangerous to your body and your system. And I must have had this kind of, sort of quizzical look on my face, because she said, you do realize you're going to be on these medications for the rest of your life. She could have slapped me across the face. I was so taken aback, and I said, no, I don't think so. And so at that point, as I walked out, I certainly had some anxiety. There was no doubt about it. But I also had resolve. I resolved that I was going to take control of my health and my health situation, and I was going to get off these dangerous meds, lower my cholesterol, lower my high blood pressure. And so I looked around and I felt that the best routine for us was a vegan diet. And we started off with a Mediterranean just to sort of ease ourselves into it.
What did you have before that?
Just the regular, like they say, sad diet. It was, we were carnivores for sure. And
how old were you at that age as well?
Well, 8 years ago, probably 57. I can't do the math, but around that age. I was in my late 50s.
You've already gone through the menopause by then.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. And so it was at that point that I said, okay, I'm taking control. And I did. We got on to the vegan diet, and we've never looked back. My husband very, very kindly joined me on this. So the two of us have been vegans for almost 8 years.
So one more question before we have to go.
Yeah.
Is the word vegan. It scares a lot of people.
Yes.
So this modernization of the word plant-based has, sweeps, not just our country, but yours as well, the world, let's say, and therefore people are unifying them together. For you, when you started out, when there wasn't the word plant-based and there was only vegetarianism and veganism, how would you now define the difference between the two, a vegan diet and a plant-based diet?
Yeah, where it really takes over is more in the lifestyle. In terms of the food area, I mean, plant-based is, you know, part of vegan, but not all plant-based items are vegan. In terms of, some of them may have been tested on animals, and that's where it doesn't become vegan, it's plant-based. But you know, most things that, you know, you eat as a vegan are plant-based, but the difference lies in more the lifestyle, which goes beyond the eating situation, where you're not incorporating any kind of animal products into your life, whether it be cosmetics or furniture or clothing or whatever the case may be.
So plant-based isn't necessarily vegetables then?
It for the most part, but when you take processed foods, like, I mean, let's face it, I mean, you know, vegetables and fruits as they are plant-based. They're clean, they're ready to go, and but it's when you get into the processed foods, that's when things can change from being just plant-based and rather not vegan, because as I say, they may be testing a lot of these things on animals, and that's where the divide comes. But for the vast majority of it, plant-based and vegan are the same.
So if they're testing something that is vegetable on an animal, is that still harmful?
Well, I think any testing that you do on an animal that they haven't, you know, I mean, that it's like, you know, say you're coming up with a new meat product, you know, quote unquote, meat substitute product or a dairy substitute product or whatever, and you're testing that on an animal, you know, there are tests that they go through that, you know, it isn't right for them to be doing that. So as a vegan,
that they've agreed to it either.
No. Well, yeah, it's really difficult for them to, you know, to stand up for themselves. And so that's where the you know, the sort of the real hard vegan comes into it.
And lastly, just picking out what you just said, can you give me an example of a vegetarian substance or dish or product? So a vegetable product, so a plant-based product that is refined.
Let's see, anything that's processed. So any of the meat substitutes that you get have been refined. Some of the dairy, you know, the cheeses and that kind of thing. If you're not making it yourself and you're buying it in a store, those would be refined as well. So anything that's, you know, that's processed and made outside of your own home, and you don't know, you know, all the ingredients and what they incorporate and what's gone into them and the testing that's been done, you know, those are things that are refined and processed.
So I'm really grateful for you stopping by and giving everybody like this very basic defining difference, that everybody's singing on the same singing from the same hymn sheet.
Yes.
You come back for part 2, we can dive a little bit deeper and ascertain and get some ideas of what a menopausal woman can be eating in reference to her diet as a substitute, especially when it comes to topics like her bones. As you know, estrogen drops during the menopause, and therefore bone care and calcium is very high on a woman's priority. So please tune in for part 2, where we will get some advice and some guidance as to what to do about that. I don't have a date for it yet. Let's just make sure that our countries times are exactly aligned. 5 hours ahead, or what is it? What central time is it? 3 hours ahead, and then the other one being 8 hours ahead, and that's it. And not mix up jumble that we're living in at the moment. So our equinox is next week, when it's the 20th of March, and that's when our clocks change. And then singing from the same hymn sheet, and we won't get mixed up.
Right. Yep. No, that's great. I look forward to it. Thank you very much for having me on, and you know, that we will get a chance to speak again. I look forward to it.
Thank you so much, Lee. Thanks, everybody. Tune in next time. Bye for now.